Hello, in this bite-sized study, we're continuing our look at 50 Hebrew words every Christian should know. And we are in part 10 and we're looking at the word Amar. And here it is. Amar. Amar. You're going to notice a couple of things. One is that this little chupchik thing here is actually what we use to represent the letter Aleph. The letter Aleph has no equivalent in English, even though people think it's an A, it's actually not. The A here is actually this sign. So this little chupchik here represents the consonant, not the consonant, sorry, the vowel Aleph. And it's Amar, and this is the first verb. I think it's the first verb we've actually looked at. So it's a verb as opposed to a noun. Let's take a look at its nuances, which are amazing. And this is actually one of the most common words in biblical Hebrew. It's one of the first words that you should actually learn, Amar. The basic meaning of the word is simply to say, he said. And the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry and why has your face fallen?" So every time we read in the Old Testament, or not every time, most of the times we read, the Lord said, or Moses said, or Aaron said, the word said is this word Amar, and that's its basic word. And usually afterwards you're going to see quotation marks being used to indicate direct speech. Here we find in 1 Kings, it says, "And Jeroboam said in his heart, now the kingdom would turn back to the house of David." And in this case, even though it's translated as said in his heart, what that basically means is that he thought. And this is an expression that we see in Hebrew, which basically means to say to yourself or to think to yourself. He did not necessarily speak these words. It's highly unlikely that he did. But he said to himself, now, because this was just after he established the northern kingdom, he thought that he was going to lose all his subjects to the south. So he thought now the whole northern kingdom is going to turn back to the house of David. So it's saying something in your heart to think is the better expression, better translation of that. Now we have in the Psalms, they did not destroy the peoples and the Lord commanded them. Here it is the Hebrew word Amar. And so contextually, instead of saying as the Lord said to them, we know that it wasn't actually, that God didn't actually say to them not to do it, but God actually commanded them not to do it. So when God says something, oftentimes it is properly interpreted as a command. So that's another way in which it's translated, the same word, Amar. And here we have our last example in 2 Kings. Yet the Lord was not willing to destroy Judah for the sake of David his servant, since he promised to give a lamp to him and to his sons forever. And here the word promise is this Hebrew word Amar. And again, it basically means to say, but when God says it in this particular context, it has the nuance of promise. So it's just one word, but translated in many different ways in English. And there are indeed a few other nuances I haven't included, but I do have enough for you to go on at this time. And that's all for now. So please don't forget to subscribe and like, and also to visit my site, Ezra710.com. And please, 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 do take a look for me on Instagram at tostudytodototeach.